Now comes the question of how will we deliver it? Now here's an important thing. So channels, I have two great tips for you. Tip number one, look at your bananas earlier. Could a banana become a channel? This could bring some very creative ideas into your business model design. The reason is, bananas are not your direct competitors. They don't fight against you because they don't know of your existence or you don't know of theirs. But they have something you really appreciate, and that's trust of the customer. And they already have a way into their heart. So look at your bananas and ask yourself, could any of them become my channel? Here's an idea. The other thing is, ask yourself in what we call a reversed thinking mode, who does the customer or the decision maker go to when they have the job or pain that you've already listed to solve? That someone, something could be an effective channel for you. 3 minutes and I'll be back. So now we're in the world of trapping and locking. And this is really, really complicated, so I'll try to simplify that as much as I can. Plus, we prepared a special gift for you. But before we do that, sit down and look at the 6 types of trapping and locking customers that you could use in your business model from different various industries. Type number 1. So, could you have a base product or base service offering that would be piggybacked by a consumable product or service. If you could do that, as the guys at Gillette have been doing for years, but with different types of services and different types of products, you will find that you have a great lock-in. You already trapped the customer with your base product or service, and now you're locking them in with your consumables. All right? It also has a point with bringing recurring revenues into the picture, which is really good to have. Lock or trap number 2 is all about the customer creating the value, and that's really smart. So the one thing that gets customers locked in is when they have to do some of the work themselves. And Facebook is a genius in doing that, right? So nobody goes online on Facebook unless they're looking for other people, unless they're looking for the content that those people are actually creating. So whenever you think of Facebook, think they're just putting the platform, we're doing all the work. The reason we're getting back to Facebook is because of ourselves, right? So whenever you get your customer to create something, content, standards, regulation, developing something together, building, creating together, you got them hooked. And as you get advanced in this, they'll be totally locked, all right? Number 3, the data lock. That's really easy, but it works like charm. Dropbox, iTunes, everybody uses that mechanism. The data is never the customer, or portion of the data is never the customer. You don't give it to them. It's an asset you keep to yourself. All you give them is access to this asset, to the data, to the information, to the knowledge. So they're not interested in owning the data, they're interested in gaining the value. That's a great lock. And a 4th lock is the learning curve lock, in which companies like Adobe or Microsoft create expertise. And as you become an expert on their products, they give you more accreditation. They give you more certifications. And when the other company or their competitor comes on board and they give you the novice degree, you just don't want that. So if you develop a system in which expertise and learning is built through your software or hardware or service with your customer, they're going to feel more attached and more locked in with your value proposition. Standardization means that you're developing a certain standard that everybody will use. In this case, we're talking about files, but it could be also standards in the way things are done or practices of a certain business or service. If you can create a standard anywhere in your value proposition, you got a chance to lock in customers. And last but not least, servitization. So servitization is all about turning products into service. Rolls-Royce, for example, manufactures jet engines, but they never sell those engines. All they sell is power by the hour. And power by the hour is a direct connection between the value proposition that they give, meaning enabling pilots to go through the distance, and the money they get. So they tie the value proposition to their revenue model as well. All right? So what could you servitize in your value proposition? Which products or features could be used as a service? So now that we've gone through the lock-ins and traps, I think it's time for you to start doing some design of those lock-ins. But before you do that, there's a gift waiting for you. We've included in the package online a pantry of locks and traps from different types, different industries that you could use. If you really want to do sharply in this exercise and develop a lock that will be valid for 2 years, and then a trap that would have the right catching impact, look at those types of traps and lock-ins, Try to pick the ones that may be relevant to you, shape them into your content or context, and use them and see if it makes sense for you. I'll meet you there in 5 minutes.